Hey guys, welcome back to Mike Griffith Garage. So today we got a new project to work on. I'm working on a 2005 Honda Pilot, and it's developed some misfires. I did plugs on it, and it had a cylinder 5 misfire, so I did a coil, which it didn't really take care of it. I moved all the coils around, and it still really doesn't have a single cylinder misfire. But it does have low engine vacuum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to adjust the valves. And I guess it's a pretty common problem with these Honda Pilots. If you don't adjust the valves, that over time they tighten up and tighten up and tighten up, and it creates a rough idle situation, misfire, etc., etc. So anyhow, that's what we're going to do today. Let's get after it. So I'm just going to go ahead and state the obvious. I took the engine cover off. Take these three little doodaddies and turn them from sideways to straight up and down. And I took the air cleaner and housing and intake tube off. And so the next thing I need to do is to get all these electrical connectors off and pull the throttle body. And basically what the objective is to pull the intake manifold off. All right, so the next thing you gotta do is take all the bolts off this little cover here. 2 nuts and a whole shitload of bolts, and then basically just take it off of there, and that will reveal the bolts in here that hold the intake on, because you don't want to, obviously you can't take the intake off without taking those off of there. Alright, so I got the intake off. So these two 10mm bolts right here and right here you don't need to take out, but all the rest of these 12s, take them off. And there you go. So anyhow, next will be getting the wiring harnesses off of each valve cover and get those up out of the way. And after I do that, we can pull the coils. And pretty easy job so far, now that I just gave myself the kiss of death. Why do I do that? Anyhow, I will be back. Okay, so get this harness out of the way. Basically you have that's the O2 sensor wires, and this little doodaddy bolts to the head down here by the EGR valve, and then of course these are the coils. Surprisingly, this one's easier than the back one. So this back one here is kind of a pain in the ass, I gotta be honest with you. I really kind of got my ass kicked. You can get the harness, undo the injectors, and undo the coil wires. And then I just use a big old fat zip tie just to zip tie this up out of the way, because that goes to the main harness to the transmission. That goes under the power steering pump and over to here. And that goes to the computer. So none of that's really that easy to get off. So I'm hoping that that this will be enough room. All right, so this is the front valve cover, and so you take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, and getting it off the spark plug tubes is it's a little sticky. I had to pry it up a little bit with a small screwdriver. Surprisingly though, the front valve cover was harder to get off than the rear, despite that valve cover, or despite that wiring harness being in the way. I'll peek under the skirt of this old girl here. She's got a few miles on her. It's got a little bit of buildup, not too bad though. All right, well here's the spec sheet for to adjust the valves, and this is how it looks in the engine compartment. So you have the front bank and the rear bank, and that is the spec for the intake and exhaust valves. And of course it shows you intake and exhaust, and of course the front of the engine. So the cool part about what Honda did is they did everybody a really good solid, let's see if I can get in here and show you without shaking the hell out of this thing too much. So there's a mark right there. Since I tried to squeeze the camera down in there and show you what I was talking about as far as the number on the cam gear and all that, and I forgot that I have this right here, which if you want to pause, that's basically what it looks like, and that's what you're looking for. See the line and the number? It's exactly what you're looking for. And I've got done adjusting all the valves. I'm actually put the rear valve cover back on, but all of the exhaust valves were super tight. I think I got a quarter turn back to get the feeler gauge in there to adjust them. All right, guys. Well, I got it all back together, got it running. Misfires went away. Engine vacuums where it's supposed to be. The map sensor voltage and vacuum where it's supposed to be. Car's happy. So it's been fixed. Anyhow, I wanted to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you found it helpful. That's the whole reason why I do these videos, is to help people. And if you have any questions, of course, hit me up in the comments. Anyhow, if you have time, hit a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.